Guys, really quick, answer me this. If you were stranded on a desert island, what would be one item you would take with you? Mine would be this resistance band. It's true. I can do a lot of things after I use this resistance band. So I'm gonna take you guys really quick through my go-to warm-up stretches, get my body moving, and it all has to do with this resistance band. I can get my hips feeling good, I can get my shoulders feeling good. I kick off every Monday, Wednesday, Friday with it. So here we go. We're gonna start with one of these medium resistance bands. Not too small, not too big. You're gonna need a medium-sized one. We're gonna hook it to a post. First thing we're going into is what we call a banded hamstring floss. These guys get super tight. We do a lot of running. We do a lot of hinging. We do a lot of squatting. Those muscles get really big back there. And we need to keep them stretched out. So I'm gonna line this band up with the middle of my quad. Then I'm gonna put it on like a pair of pants, only on one side though. Step one leg into the band. Banded hamstring floss starts with the band sitting right across your hip. You're gonna take this leg that's banded up, step it on forward until you get a big stretch on that band right here. Now this is the part where it gets a little bit tricky. Don't lean forward, push your booty backwards. Let that band pull your booty backwards so we start feeling a big stretch through that front hamstring right here. Now I can get my hands to the floor. If you can't get into kind of this passive relaxed state, what you're gonna wanna do is grab a plate or two or maybe a box to put your hands on so you can kind of relax into the stretch. But we're calling it a floss, so it's gonna have a little bit of movement with it. I don't wanna be tense. This band is pulling, it literally feels like it's pulling my femur back to the post behind me. A floss looks like this. I'm just gonna bend my leg, straighten my leg, each time trying to be very, very relaxed and passive, trying to let that band kind of dig into that hip joint. It's also called a banded hip distraction. There's different ways you can do distractions. Those are some of my favorite things to do. Just think of a distraction as you're trying to open up the joint so it has more movement to move. You're gonna learn that a little bit with your shoulders too. Big fault I see with this one is athletes trying to lean forwards and backwards like this. All you're doing is moving this front leg. Sometimes I like to wiggle my front leg around just to get some internal, external rotation. Usually feels pretty good. Bam, I'll hang out about 30 seconds, maybe a minute on that side if it's feeling good. Then I'll turn on around and we're gonna move on to what's called a banded hip opener, getting the other side of my leg. Same idea, banded leg, steps backwards. Notice the band is right under my butt cheek on this one, and it's literally gonna pull my hip open just like the stretch sounds. I'm gonna try to relax and let that band pull this back hip open. I feel it right through my hip flexor. If you guys have really tight quads, it'll help with that too. You might feel it a little bit through your quad, but the goal is to press that back hip open, keep a tall vertical torso without letting your midline arch or anything. You should feel it right through that hip flexor. Hang out about 30 seconds to a minute on that side, and then I'll get the other leg. After that, I'll take this band off of the post, and then I'm switching to my upper body, my shoulders. Those guys take a big hit in training, and we're gonna do quite a few things to get them ready and all loosened up. The first thing is easily one of my favorite shoulder stretches ever. I've already made a video on this one, so we're gonna go really quick through it. Banded shoulder distraction. Take the band, hook it up to a pull-up bar, wear it like a bracelet. That's a big one, so you can relax into the stretch. Wear it like a bracelet, grab a hold of the band. My right hand is banded up. That means my right leg is gonna step backwards into the lunge, and then I'm gonna let that band pull me forward till I feel a big stretch through my lat, and then just kind of lean and kind of just play dead right here. Hang out right there. Sometimes I'll twist and turn my hand a little bit. Hang out for about 30 seconds right there. This is the distraction. Notice it's trying to open up this shoulder joint, create more space right there. It's pulling my arm off of my body, but it feels really good, okay? I'll hang out for about 30 seconds right there. Then I'll stand on up, leave this hand in the band, and then I'll do what's called a chest stretch with this band. This one feels really good for you guys that have those tight pecs or are really strong for doing all that bench. What I'll do is I'll leave my thumb, look at my thumb, up to the sky. Pit of my arm, my elbow pit, whatever this thing is called right here, up to the sky. Then I'll turn my chest away until I feel a big stretch through the front of my shoulder right here. Sometimes I'll get some internal rotation too because that feels good on like my bicep and everything. Just be rather gentle when it comes to moving around with those shoulders. Then I'll turn on around and get the same thing with a reach through. My arm is reaching across my body. This is where I like to bounce around a little bit. This one's the fun one. Whee! Feels good on the back side of that shoulder. About 30-ish seconds right there, and bam, I'm ready to switch to the other side. Yo, you see how many things you can do with that band? I have so many other things too that I'll use based on what I'm doing that day. If I'm doing maybe some cleans, I'll add in some front rack stretching. If I'm doing, let me see, some more squatting, I'll do some extra hip distractions. Guys, this guy is so cool. Definitely my item of choice when I'm stranded out on an island because I assume once I get all stretched out, I'll be able to lift up the coconut trees, javelin them across the island, and then be able to chase down whatever food I need to catch that day. Okay, bye. Let me know if that warm-up helps you guys. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow along for whatever other things we like to talk about around here. Peace out.